What's up, guys? Bob Buskirk here at ThinkComputers, and today I'm going to show you how to install the Thermaltake Frio OCK onto an Intel LGA 1155 motherboard. Now, first I'm going to go over what you will actually need to get it installed. Everything comes with it. I'm just going to go over so you know what you're going to need when you're installing on an 1155 CPU. First thing is our backplate here, and it's actually labeled, so you can use this for both the AMD and Intel installations. They have AMD labeled on one side and Intel labeled on another. You need these two brackets right here. You need 4 of these little thumb screws. You need 4 of these little rubber pieces. You need 2 of these spring screws, so these 2. You need 4 of these really small screws, and you need 4 of these screws that have the plain backs right there. And of course you're going to need the CPU cooler. So let's go ahead and start. So the first thing we're going to be doing is installing our backplate on the motherboard. So we're going to go over and flip it around here. And this actually lines up perfectly with the backplate. So let me move this around here so I can get it on camera. And you can see this lines up perfectly just like that. Now, these holes right here, you're going to install these 4 screws. So these long screws right here will go through and all your holes will actually line up. Let's go ahead and put those in easily. So you can see they all line up. Now to lock them in place here, we're going to hold them like this. And you're going to lock them with these rubber pieces right here. And they just simply screw on just like a thumb screw would. So you simply just screw them on here. Get a better view here so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to do that with all 4 screws. So it's a little tricky to do if you're just doing it with one person, as I'm doing here, but it is pretty simple. And what's nice about this is that the backplate actually locks right in place when you put it on. So you don't have to worry about really lining everything up perfectly each time. It will just do it itself really, since as you can see, it is lined up perfectly back there. So we'll go ahead and get these last 2 screws in here and make sure they're very tight. Alright, now your motherboard should look something like this. We have these 4 posts coming up here from the backplate, and everything is nice and tight. Now what you want to do is take these right here, which are your 2 clips, and you want to install them on each side. And the thing you want to remember is the side that the part that goes out, this part right here, is going to go towards the processor. So if we put them in here like this, you will see that that is the correct way that we want them to go. So you can see that there. Now what we're going to do is you're going to take these thumb screws right here and lock everything into place. And again, you want to make sure everything is nice and tight. So now your system should look exactly like this, and we're ready to go to the next section. So now we're ready to work with the actual CPU cooler and heatsink. And the first thing you want to do is take the fan shroud off. And more than likely it has been already installed if you bought this somewhere online. So what you want to do is lift up on these two tabs and pull the shroud off. So we go ahead and do that right there. The next thing we want to do is you want to flip it over. And we are going to install the spring clips right here. And this is what they look like. And you'll be using the very, very small screws. And the way this works is... this one goes on this side, we'll do this side first. Is they line up just like this, and you screw them in from the bottom using the very small screws. Put that on there. Want to make sure they're nice and tight. So you can see how I have that installed on there. And we're going to go ahead and do the opposite side now. Now you want to make sure everything is nice and tight. Alright, so now we are ready to actually install the heatsink onto our motherboard. We are finally going to install the heatsink onto the motherboard. And this is really simple. What you want to do is softly just place it right on there. And the hardest part about this is lining up your screws on each side. So you want to line these up and use your screwdriver to tighten them and lock them into place. Now I would suggest doing one a little bit and then making sure the other one's on there and getting that one. And it looks like we're good to go on this. So now that you have them all locked into place, you want to tighten the screws as tight as they will go. Alright, I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to show you here how it is connected. So you can see right there how we do have it connected on both sides. So there you go. And the final last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to install the fan shroud. And basic rule of thumb with this, here's a Thermaltake logo. That always wants to be up. You don't want it upside down. So you want to go ahead and lift it over there. Just nicely press it down and it will lock into place. Plug in your CPU fan right here. And you're good to go. Now I do want to point out though, if you look here, this will come very, very close to your memory slots right here. So you should look on Thermaltake's website and see how much space you're actually going to have. But overall, the installation is pretty easy. Probably will take about maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on your skill level. But again, this is Bob Busker for ThinkComputers, and this was installing the Thermaltake Frio OCK CPU cooler. And if you like our videos, make sure you subscribe. And if you like this video, hit the like button at the bottom. We'll catch you guys later.